If you've been doing electronics for any length of time, you're used to soldering and desoldering. Well, when it came to desoldering, I always used wick or one of the solder suckers, something like that. Well, I just recently broke down and bought myself a vacuum-based desoldering gun, the S-993A. I purchased this with my own cash, no sponsorship at all. I thought I would share with you my findings on this vacuum soldering gun. Stay tuned. All right, so when it comes to desoldering, there's a number of options here. You have wick. This is a given. You need this on your bench. You're going to use it a lot. Even if you have a vacuum gun, desoldering gun, you're going to need to use this for cleanup, especially with SMD stuff, which typically I'll use a heat, an air gun, and I'll remove it that way, and then I clean it up with the wick. Then you have these guys where they're vacuumed inside. You push the button down, you bring over your soldering iron, and then once it's hot enough, boom, you try to put it on there and press the button. I hate these. I can never time it right, and hence it's already starting to cool by the time I get over there. I do a horrible job with these. This actually doesn't work so bad. This allows you to do the same thing, but it has a heating element on the base. So you plug it in. There's no temperature control on this one. You plug it in, let it heat up. You push the button down, you roll it around, and when you're ready, you push the button and it sucks up the solder. But none of these have been as good as using a vacuum gun. I've used the Heiko. The Heiko is like, the top of the product. It's the Ferrari. Well, I don't know if it's the Ferrari, but it is, certainly the Honda of the desoldering space. It's used in a lot of places, but it's expensive. $350, I think, maybe even more. So while I was looking on Amazon, I actually found this one, this S-993A. It had, most of the ratings were really good. There are a couple low ratings on it. So I thought I would go ahead and pick it up and give it a shot. I paid $126 for this. If you notice, just right off the bat, it does come with a stand. The stand is super heavy duty. I actually like the stand a lot, except every time I go to put it in, I have a tendency to press the button, this black button here, which turns on the vacuum pump. By the way, the tip is always hot. The black button only brings up the pump, but I have a tendency to push it as I'm putting it in. Otherwise, this thing is built like a tank. Anyway, back to this. So it goes from 350 degrees Celsius to 450. This tube here is removable. This is where the suction is generated. So you've got a filter inside here, a little like a almost like cotton filter, sucks through here, and the solder ends up in this tube. What you do have to make sure if you get one of these, and I've experienced this a few times. I've been using this for about a month. Sometimes when I clean it out, I don't press it enough, and there is a gap. I don't know if you can see that gap, but I have a tendency to leave that gap, which all of a sudden you'll be using it and it's not sucking like it should be. And you're like, what did I do wrong? Well, what you did wrong is you didn't completely seal the receiving tube into the body. Right now I'm using it at about 390 Celsius, but sometimes I have to crank it up. Also, just a real quick point. When you're desoldering, sometimes it helps a lot to hit the solder joint, especially if it's old, with new solder before you try to desolder it. All right, let me show you how this actually works. Okay, so a couple things to keep in mind when you're desoldering. Like I said before, it helps to add new solder at times, depending on how old the board is. And if you're removing parts that are on a ground plane, you definitely want to check your temperature. If you're having an issue desoldering, you might need to increase the temperature because that ground plane is actually working as a heat sink. So let's, first thing I'm going to do before I actually we'll remove some of these caps here. is I'm going to hit them with some new solder. This solder looks a little iffy. So I'm going to hit them with new solder. See, that's actually on a ground plane, I think. They're probably decoupling caps. Okay. That was 370 degrees Celsius. So let's see if we can actually remove these. It's on, set to 390. I haven't changed it. Okay, so I saw that melt very quickly. Okay. Don't know if you can see that, but it did a pretty good job. Let's get the next one. So I'm rolling it around a little bit as I suck it in. Oh, see, as I put it back into its stand, I hit that button. So this one pulled right out. You know, this is a pretty typical fix. You know, you're going through and replacing caps because they've leaked or something. So let's try another one. So basically you put it down, you wait for it to melt. I can see it melted. And as I move it around, I'm hitting the vacuum button. Put it back in the stand. And we should be able to just wiggle this one out. Let's see. Nope. Looks like it might still have some. Hopefully that'll do it. Let's see. Looks like it needs a little more on this side. And there we go. I mean, that's just life. You know, sometimes they come out easy like the first one. Sometimes you got to work it a little bit. That's just the way it works. But the holes are pretty good. They're definitely clean. You could put new parts in right now. Minimal damage, it looks like. And that was probably for me, you know, rocking it, of course. So definitely a repairable connection. Certainly quick, easy to do. Let's go ahead and look at, I'm going to cool it down. We're going to open it up and remove the solder, and I'll show you a couple of the tools that it came with. Okay, so I've let it cool off for a few minutes. The tools that it comes with include this cleaning tool, which I actually have had to use. It'll go up into the nozzle and allow you to clean it. You can actually get it all the way into the vacuum tube, the collection tube. There were some filters as well as new tips. To clean it, all you do is pull back and open the tube up. What I do is I will use this tool and scrape the solder out of the collection tube and then dump it into the trash. Then all you have to do is put it back inside. Make sure that you have a good seal on it. Yep. Make sure you have a good front seal and back seal like I pointed out earlier. That way you can maintain that vacuum. So for the price, I'm fairly content with it. Like I said, my only problems with it so far is whenever I put it back into the stand, you know, the vacuum goes off. I don't know if you'll be able to purchase replacements for these little filters. I'm actually not too worried about it. I can probably even make something like that. The tips are probably fairly standard. So, you know, the difference between the cost of a Heiko and this is pretty significant. I could almost buy two of these or buy two of these. So we'll see. If anything changes over time, I will certainly update you guys. I've only had it a month, but for 126 bucks, I'm pretty happy with it so far. So, all right, guys, take care. See you next time. Bye.